Fiona and Cake Season 2 Episode 4 is here, and as always I'll be breaking down the episode, covering everything that happens, giving any theories I may have, as well as my overall opinions of the episode. And so with this said, let's dive straight into the episode, this one being titled The Cat Who Tipped the Box. The episode begins with us getting this kind of folklore story of a hunter and his wife who actually end up kind of being Huntress Wizard's parents, not being her biological parents, but just coming across her in the forest, kind of in the exact same way that Finn was, which is really interesting. But yeah, we see them raise her until she's older, but then one random night while it's raining, lightning hits their house, setting it on fire, and the hunter manages to get Huntress Wizard out of the house, but then he of course goes back in to save his wife, but then the house just engulfs in even more flames, with Huntress Wizard now watching, knowing her parents are dead. And then we see her burying them. I did not expect Huntress Wizard to have this sad of a backstory, but it genuinely makes her character 100% cooler. But we then cut to Gary and Marshall Lee shopping at the store before Marshall's mom calls him asking about the sweet spot, wanting to help, but of course he just hangs up on her. But he then bumps into the Ice Queen, and the two just kind of stare at each other as if they met before or just know each other, which I assume they have, as Marceline and Ice King obviously have their history. But we then cut to Fiona, who is obviously just drunk on the floor, waking up to a call from Hunter, who says that he actually set up a park meeting for her. Fiona then takes a shower whilst listening to the radio talk about DJ Flame, before saying that she needs DJ Flame, but then saying that she just needs to talk to him. But we then cut to Princess Bubblegum, who's putting all the crown jewels in the Enchiridion before destroying it, of course turning it into the portal to Prismo's time room. As we then see Prismo and the Scarab hanging out, Prismo still glitching, before Marcy, Bubblegum, and Simon all come in the time room, saying that they need to make a wish to save Finn. But Prismo then sends the Scarab away before telling them that he's not able to make wishes anymore. And it seems like he was about to tell them that he doesn't know why, but then the Scarab comes back in the room and he just instantly sends them home. I don't know if this is because he's actually lost his power, or because he obviously has no jurisdiction over the heart of the forest. As he said, the Scarab, that's why he's not intervening with Huntress Wizard, but it could be either one, I'm not gonna lie. But we then cut to Cake, who's looking for Fiona in the apartment, before getting a call from the people who work on Cheers, who then book her for an appearance in their show. We then see a snail about to eat Huntress Wizard, but of course she easily defeats it, actually now being able to walk. We then cut to Fiona, who's looking for Flame Prince, plus envisioning the prior memories that she made with him, even seeing the two kiss and Fiona just grab his ass. But we then see that his house is just completely destroyed, meaning he probably moved, before seeing even more memories of their first interactions together, which almost every memory is just them hanging out while Fiona is working or getting fired. But as Fiona vents to him about her job, they end up riding the Ferris wheel, and we see that this memory was actually the first time they met, as they introduce themselves to each other. But then Hunter and Fennel show up, and yeah, Fennel and Fiona's interaction is just extremely awkward. Well, Fiona is, at least. Fennel actually seems incredibly nice. But Hunter then reminds her about the park committee, and so Fiona runs to change her clothes, as we then cut to Cake, who arrives on the set of Cheers, and we see that their set is actually extremely small, as well as all of the people in it, which was just pretty funny. But we then cut back to Fiona, who then finally sees Huntress Wizard, and seeing that Huntress Wizard is clearly weak, Fiona instantly gives her food, which was just all the more wholesome knowing what happened to her parents. But as Huntress Wizard grows, Fiona instantly realizes that she's not from this world. But we then cut to Simon, who visits the Ice Kingdom, seeing all of his penguins again, who now just hate him, but also then seeing Gunter himself, or in other words, the Ice Thing. But Simon then asks him for the demonic wishing eye, and the Ice Thing says yes, but only if he watches him play the drums. But we then cut back to Fiona, who tells Cake to meet her at the grocery store, but first Cake has to make her cameo in Cheers. But she quickly realizes that everyone only wants her there for her stretchy powers, and not actually for herself. And Cake gets really mad and grows to scare them, but then she sees them all turn into rats, and then it's like she just turns into a cat again. I don't know if this is a sign of her losing her powers, just her cat instincts, but either way, we then cut back to Fiona just giving Huntress Wizard a bunch of meat so she can grow even bigger. But as Huntress Wizard grows again, she becomes basically now just her normal self, except just completely naked, which was hilarious. But as Huntress Wizard sees a beetroot, she remembers what the Spirit Dream Warrior said, regaining her memories of the heart of the forest and saving Finn. And as Huntress Wizard goes running, of course Fiona and Cake chase her, and when Fiona asks what she's doing, Huntress Wizard says that she's trying to get back to Ooh. And hearing this, Fiona calls Simon, and then gives the phone to Huntress Wizard, and Simon asks her how she got the Fiona world, but Huntress Wizard says that she can't tell him, making Princess Bubblegum mad, asking what hurt Finn, but Huntress Wizard says green wizards only. And Princess Bubblegum just gets extremely mad, as we see that she really cares about Finn. But Huntress Wizard then just kind of passes out and falls off the tree, before saying that she can sense that this world wild as a heart, but that it's apparently quiet. But we then cut to Fiona, who once again runs into Flame Prince, asking if the two could grab a coffee, in which he says yes to, and then he hugs her, saying that he's glad that she found him, which makes Fiona extremely happy and Cake just disgusted. But Hunter then calls Fiona, asking her about the park meeting, and Fiona tries to explain to him everything that happened with Huntress Wizard, as well as that she ran into Flame Prince. But hearing this, Hunter is clearly upset and hangs up on her. But as Fiona and Cake get back to their apartment, they see that they have an eviction notice on their door, and Fiona says that she still has to pay rent before the episode ends. This episode didn't have a lot happen, but had a lot happen at the same time. Fiona finally met Huntress Wizard, Simon got the demonic wishing eye, which could actually end up being what saves Finn, and the whole Prismo glitching thing was kind of addressed, but also kind of not addressed, as he says that he's just losing his powers and kind of nothing else. But I assume that them bringing it up here means that we'll get the answer eventually, unless once again it's just because he can't intervene because it's not in his jurisdiction. But I assume that in the next episode, hopefully finally Finn will be saved and the real adventure of the show will begin. Maybe not though, I guess we'll just have to see. But anyways, with that said, that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one whenever that is.